You guys want to hear a weird mix of realities?
You guys want to see a dead body?
So, like forever ago, my sister had told me that she was looking for a podcast to listen to. So, of course, I told her about the show.
Right.
And apparently she's been listening to it, and I didn't know. I'm like, all right, cool. What I also didn't know was that she told my parents.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, so obviously I don't care. But I was on a phone call with my dad, and all of a sudden he starts talking about the podcast, and I was only kind of paying attention, so I thought he was just telling me. Yeah. So I thought he was just telling me about a random podcast that he had started listening to, because he doesn't really listen to podcasts. Mm-hmm. And then he starts talking about video games and something about me. I'm like, wait, what? And then he brings it up. He's like, oh, yeah, your sister got a hold of us and told us that you were doing a podcast. So your mom and I started listening to it. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Hello, everyone.
Because my mom was like, oh, yeah, you don't swear a lot like your sister and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, don't get the Patreon.
No, you have to pay for that.
Yeah.
That's $1 a month.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/E1M1. Hello, patrons.
So good. Man.
Oh, Jesus.
All right. You guys ready to start?
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston Dream, as always, is Moonpeer.
Hello.
And the Nymph.
Hello.
Patreon.com/E1M1. The ones are numbers. Get all the cool behind-the-scenes early access, 2-month early access to Critical Misses. That's starting to air on the public feed here, so you can get the majority of the Fast Saga right now over on Patreon. $5 a month is the best tier. That gets you everything. You get all the cool audio. I get some help paying for the show because it's not cheap, and everybody wins.
Also, we have a new goal. Please share that goal.
200. Thank you, Moon, for the heart emoji in the live stream. $250 means that I play Resident Evil 7 live on stream and probably cry because I'm a giant chicken. So, if you want to get that done, Patreon.com/E1M1.
To give everyone an idea, this is the same guy who literally refuses to play these games. Like, he won't even play them not streaming.
No. Too much of a chicken. I don't like it.
When you do this, you need to stream it out. Like, tell us when you're doing it so we can jump in and watch on Discord at the same time and get our mics involved. So we can just heckle you while you do this.
Mystery Science Theater it.
Yeah. Look at this baby. Yeah. Patreon.com/E1M1. And I think, we have a brand new episode of Game Club Recap out right now for Saturday Morning RPG. If you want to watch 3 grown, nearly 40-year-old adults struggle to find something positive about a video game, you should probably listen to that episode. It's probably the saltiest and angriest thing we've ever put out on this show.
And we don't do that often. We really...
Part of this show, the ethos ever since I started the show has really been one of the early rules for the show was if you like something or if you hate something, you have to explain why. I'm sure everybody has listened to something or watched something or read something where it's just like, I hate this thing and it sucks. See you later. It's like, but why? How do you clearly feel strongly about this because you made something. Why do you feel the way you feel? So a lot of that episode was us saying, these things are not great in this game and sort of breaking down why it's not great and how it sort of breaks common conventions in video games, which is frustrating in its own right. So that should be in the feed right now if you're listening to the audio version of this. I think that's it. So let's start off with you, Moonpeer. What have you been playing this past week?
Nothing.
Nothing.
We'll start. I skipped out on Dead by Friday this week. And I also basically haven't touched Apex Legends this week because some personal issues have been going on. For those who follow me on social media, you will know that one of my cats is currently in a rough shape, and we're trying to step by step our way through that current process.
Yep.
So honestly, I haven't really felt like doing a lot this week.
Yeah.
But I am a warrior, and I will continue to fight on to produce content for this show. So I literally played so much F1 2020, you have no idea. And I didn't even play the My Team mode. I was just jumping into online races and smoking fools.
There you go. Listen to podcasts, smoking fools.
Yes. I got my first online victory and that sweet Chivo that goes with it, which was hilarious because it wasn't even 3 people. If it was 3 people, I'd be lost, celebratory about it.
Right.
But there was like 12 of us in there, and somehow I got pole position. I got a really solid start onto the first corner, and as always happens in Formula One races, someone came darting up my inside and tried to basically take that line and bump me off.
Yeah.
I stuck to my guns. I took the corner. He wheel to wheel kissed me, and then he spun out, and I kept on going straight.
There you go.
And then I just left everybody else in my dust, and like purple laps the whole rest of the race. Like I think it's like 6 laps on online mode I was doing, and just tried to stay way away from everybody. I was just like, I am just gunning it. I'm using my ERS the best I can. Enjoy the Formula One lingo for those who don't know Formula One. Sorry about this.
Purple means good. Good lap time.
Yeah. I was just flying, and then last 2 corners I was a little bit squiggly, like a little bit too curb happy, and almost spun out on like the last 2 corners.
Ooh.
And I was just like, no, get this under control. You only got like 4 seconds on the person behind you. You can do this. Just calm down.
Breathe it out.
I made it through the last corner, came out, took the checkered flag, and then immediately got that little kaplunk sound. Sorry, I got the shween kaplunk sound because it's a rarity.
Yeah, right.
With I think it's called showing off, and it was like, win your first online race. And I was like, that's great. I never have to do that again. I'm happy.
I don't have to worry about that now.
Because it was one of those things where it's like, okay, I Lewis Hamiltoned it. I got pole. I led from the start to the end, and nobody could touch me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Which is not usual. That's not something that happens with me in this game. But other than that, like I've just been experimenting with different laps because different courses, because I just jump into an online lobby, do a quick race, because it's like a 20-minute to 30-minute per race kind of experience to do. That's qualifying, then the race, and then you're done, move on to the next one. Whereas in the career mode, it's like an hour each race. And this entire week in my brain has been like, do you want to do this for an hour? I don't know. We'll just do it for half an hour, and then let's see how we feel after
Your
that.
brain just answers like, buh.
Yeah, my brain's been answering that question for like 6 months at this point, but yes. But then I'm sitting there, and I played a lot of F1, and a lot of F1.
Yeah, that's good
Too
stuff.
Much F1 2020. It bit at the perfect time. The season just began. This game just came out. Like, there's a whole bunch of coincidences lining this up to be, hey, this is perfect timing for you to really want to pick up this game.
And it manages to be a really great game at the same time, too.
Yes. And I love how customizable it is. I don't know if I mentioned, but Codemasters made it, so you know it's a good racing game.
Yep.
Like, they have the pedigree to do it, so that's great. Hashtag Series X enhanced, please.
Right. Smart delivery it up.
Yes. Give me that goodness.
Yep.
But honestly, it's just been a good, again, stick a headphone in, listen to some podcasts. Weirdly enough, I was actually listening to the 2019 Shift F1 podcasts while I was racing in F1 2020.
There you go.
Because I needed something to distract my brain. But it's a great game. It sounds good. It feels good. I love so much about this. And it's been so long since I've played a serious racing game. Because I love Forza Horizon. Forza Horizon is one of the best racing games out there.
Oh, yeah.
But that's, in my wife's word, that is get a Mini Cooper, send it around the corner sideways, and just enjoy what happens.
Yeah. It's not exactly a sim. Like, even if you turn up a lot of the stuff and like turn off a lot of assists, it's still not really going to be a sim.
No, and I don't have the patience for Drive Club or The Club or Gran Turismo or even the baseline Forza games at this point. Are just like, no, just give me the arcade stuff. Just give me the goodness of that kind of stuff. This is a good balance of both. And it happens to be in a category of sports that I'm genuinely invested in and have been for like 30 years now. So I guess that's a good thing.
Do a lot of the online racers actually race the way they should, or is it like every other racing game where first corner, everyone's in a wall?
It's interesting because you have two ratings. You have a safety rating and basically a ranking. And your safety rating depends on how well, obviously, you drive safety-wise. Cutting corners get you the black and white flag. Continue to do so, you'll get time penalties at the end of the race.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Most people seem to be absolutely fine. Most people are like, understand how Formula One works, and they will try and get you up the inside corner, and they'll overbrake. They'll shoot it off the edge of they'll Lance Stroll it and send it straight into the the runoff outside of the corner while you just cut up the inside. Or they'll try and go around the outside, but there is a genuine understanding that like, I'm going to slowly come out and then push you a little bit, and then it's up to you if you want to stay with me and then we both spin, or you can back off a little bit.
Right.
So far, it has been a relatively fine experience. I had one time where I think someone wasn't paying attention to the braking zones and plowed straight into the back of me. But other than that, like, most people, they're aggressive. They're a lot more aggressive than Formula One drivers would be, because you don't have to worry about, killing yourself in this car. Right. But generally, they have been pretty respectful. Everybody understands, like, everyone does the whole Formula One thing as well. I don't know if it's intentional, because I haven't seen people do it, but nobody does the wiggly worm down a straight to try and stop you.
There you go.
Everyone does the, I'm going to move over. This is my defensive line. If you want to take me, you're going to go around the outside on this corner and do your best. Everyone seems to follow the actual Formula One rules, which is pretty good. But also on Xbox, the multiplayer pool at most is 2,000 people. So it doesn't surprise me that those 2,000 people who bought the Formula One game the week it came out, it's into the Formula One rules.
Yeah.
I'm sure if I was to play the Formula One 2019 game, which is on Game Pass right now, that's a whole different kettle of cakes.
Yeah.
That's probably a lot more risque, shall we say.
Got fools flying off the track.
Right.
Yeah. And like, having the collision on is great, because like yesterday I did a multiplayer race, and flashing back to last week's Styrian GP in real life, the whole Sergio Perez has a broken front wing and Lando Norris is catching him really quick. I did that to somebody in the game because the guy came over my radio. It was the last lap. I had like 5 corners left, and my engineer came over the radio and was like, the car in front's got front wing damage and is going really slow. And then literally on the last corner of the race, I cut up his inside and I overtook him when I took the position from him. It's like, great. Just like real life, literally happened last week.
Yep. That's cool.
It's like, okay, I got my money's worth. Even if I stop playing this game now and never play it again and don't go any further in the My Team mode, I 100% got my money's worth. Hashtag probably just a game for me. Think about it before you spend the money.
Right.
I know a certain somebody in this podcast has been debating it since I started talking about it last week, and then I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, man, a little bit.
But, I'm just saying, if you happen to get it on the Xbox, we could start a league.
Oh, hello.
There's leagues, and we could have races every Saturday. And I'm just saying.
There you go, putting it out there.
One thing for my wife to give me side eye on. It's like, it's bad enough you're watching it, and now you want to play it.
I can't hear you. I'm racing.
I'm sorry, the cars are really loud.
Vroom!
But I'm not kidding. They really are, because like I have to, like, when I'm sitting on the couch and I'm playing it, if my wife talks to me, I'm like, what?
Hey?
What?
all she hears is.
That's right. I'm in the pit. I'm sorry.
Oh, pits is so good. The game is so good. Let's just.
How many times have you run into somebody in the pit?
I have it on pit assist, so as soon as I hit the pit lane, it takes over because I turned it off and I was doing it manually, but the pit line is like the speed limit line. I always overcompensate on brakes, so I'll hit into the pit lane and then immediately start braking for the pit line, which is, 10 car lengths away, and I'm going 2 kilometers an hour for a 60 kilometer an hour speed limit. And it's like,
right.
Well, I've just wasted 5 seconds of my race just braking way too early.
Oh, right.
So I have it so that it assists me in the lane itself, and then I have to do the clutch and accelerate to get out. So as soon as you get dropped, depending on what racetrack you're on, you'll either have a light or you won't. So it's a case of, if you have a light, watch for the light to turn green. If you don't have light, it's as soon as the car drops and hits the floor, you have to accelerate out. And the guy on your radio is like, go, 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 because I can never get it timed right.
Some of that, though, like some of those pit lanes that I've seen, where especially if there's more than one car pitting, it looks like there's enough room for your car, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then it's just people standing there waiting, like hoping that they know what you're doing. And it's like,
if you're ever watching Formula One and you want to get really scared, watch for the guy who works for the team. I think it's in front of the box that they're coming into. So when Mercedes are coming in, watch for the guy who's in the pit box before him, because they have all of the pneumatic cables and stuff that come out on bars and then hit the floor. So you'll have a guy standing there just holding it back like a curtain.
Right.
And you'll see this Formula One car drive past it with like his front wing like 2 millimeters away from this guy's legs as he's trying to come into his pit box. And it's just like, dude, you're the bravest person on the track.
Right. It's like brushing his leg hair.
Pit lane.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason there is a speed limit there.
Yeah.
Well, even just the guy with the front jack, who he's just standing there, and there's been times where it's like the track's a little wet. It's like, screw that.
Yeah, like I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm scooting over.
During pre-season testing and stuff like that, in real life, they'll occasionally have like the drivers do other jobs as like a bit of a media hit. So like, oh, here's Lando Norris changing a tire. And he was set to sign up for McLaren as Alonso was leaving McLaren. And they put Lando Norris on the front jack when Alonso was coming in for a pit. And Alonso always goes long. He always hits that front jack pretty hard on every single pit stop.
Oh no.
And Lando tweeted and was like, they put me on the front jack and Alonso goes long. Coincidence? ? Like, yeah, you brave people.
Yeah.
But no, Formula 1 2020 is a hell of a game. And as I mentioned, it might not be for you.
Yeah.
You'll know if it is for you.
If you have glazed over for about the last 15 minutes, it's probably not for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you're interested in Formula 1, go do some Googling on it. There's plenty of resources out there to get into the sport. Or go and listen to our pre-show stuff from, I don't know, January, February this year.
That's right.
Where I slowly but surely rope these two people into, come on, take the bait. The
F1 brainworms.
Dude, I was hook, line, and sinker on that.
Yeah, like immediately, you're like, "Yep, this is for me. I love it."
And it all started with Drive to Survive. I'm pretty sure. It's like,
that's a good show.
We'll see if you like it after that.
Yeah.
The only other game I played this week is Kingdom Hearts 3. I should specify 3.
3.8.
No, just 3. Get away from me with that.
100% not the game that I thought you were going to talk about.
No.
How are you liking Kingdom Hearts 3?
I have been playing Everspace, but that's a Wii roguelike here. Patreon.com/E1M1. I'm going to start playing The Return of the Obra Dinn, but that's a Game Club game. Come back in 4 weeks.
That's right.
I didn't know what to play, and I'm going through my games list, and like Subnautica, Astroneer, Kingdom Hearts, Resident Evil 2 remake. So there's like 10 other games which I'm like 80% of the way through.
Oh, right.
A little kiss and a little push over the line, and I'll be done with them.
Right.
and then I can forget about them, I can uninstall them, and I can get some hard drive space back. Hashtag 98% again. Whoop whoop. Thank you, Game Pass.
Boy, if there's a game you ever just want to finish up and forget about, it's Kingdom Hearts 3.
I say, is this because I played the mod last week?
No. This is because I want it off my drive.
Yeah.
I was so excited for that game. That game came out last year, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had it on my top
last
10.
year, I think.
Yeah, it came out last year, and I was so excited for another Kingdom Hearts.
Especially on Xbox.
Mm-hmm. And I played it really hardcore for like a week and a half.
Yep.
And then I got sick and fed up of doing the stupid bumper car rides and the rapids.
The pirate ship.
Yeah.
It takes forever.
I got fed up of all of that stuff, and I stopped playing it. And it has literally sat on my hard drive since.
Yep.
So I want to experience it. I love Kingdom Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely do. I'm one of those weirdos.
Ditto. And Kingdom Hearts 3 is a solid game.
Yeah. But I just wanted to go back and get again, it's the achievement hunter / frugal nature of me. I wanted to get my money's worth.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to play through. I'm going to see the end of the game, which is not really the end of the game because I know there's DLC coming for it, which is also the end of the game.
Whatever. It's already out, and apparently it's like impossibly difficult, so I already tapped out.
Yeah. So I just want to go through. I want to get the warm fuzzies when I get to a new planet. Like, oh, cool, it's that planet.
Yeah. Look at Toy Story. Yeah.
I still don't know if Tron is in this one. I hope it is, but I don't think it is. I don't even
remember. I don't think it is.
I don't think so.
I know it was in 2 because that was one of the reasons I picked up 2 on day 1 was, oh boy, I got this copy of Games Master and there is Sora, Mickey, and Donald in Tron outfits. Yeah. Kingdom Hearts 2, come on down.
Yeah, I think this one was just all the newer ones from the last Pirates of the Caribbean up.
Yeah.
Which even then, I think it was only like 6 worlds, 8 or 6 worlds, something like that altogether.
World was rough.
Yeah.
As they always are in these games.
Yeah. The one downside is I didn't realize exactly how little of Kingdom Hearts I'd played.
Mm-hmm.
So I just hit Enchanted.
Tangled?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty early.
I haven't scratched the surface of this game yet.
Yeah.
So I guess I got some Kingdom Hearts 3 to play.
And I mean, yeah, it's good.
Like I said, I enjoyed the gameplay, generally speaking.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hit Y ever.
No, I was just going to say, like, as long as you don't hit Y for the rest of the game, you'll be totally fine.
Exactly. I'm going to smash, dodge, and magic my way through the game. Mm-hmm. Get away from me with all that attraction stuff.
And what's so crazy is, like, I feel like we had this complaint when we first started playing it last year. Those attacks aren't strong enough. It's not like a summon in the Final Fantasy games where it's like, yes, this is clearly like, I'm going to one-shot whatever's in front of me. It's like, I did maybe like 25% more damage. It's like, cool, it's literally wasting my time.
Yeah, I could have done that more in DPS alone.
Yeah, like I could have just hit them with my Keyblade and be done by now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm not going to hit Y.
Smart.
I'm going to do the basics to get me through the game, and I'm going to see how I feel as I go through it. I may end up giving up on this because too many games to play. Like, I was torn. I was going to restart Alien Isolation because I was only like 1 chapter into that game before I stopped playing it, or I was going to play this. So I'm not in the mood for a game where I have to think. Kingdom Hearts, I don't have to think. So
just jumping and mashing A.
Exactly. Mashing A, hitting X a whole bunch to do the dodges, trying to remember every time I'm out of combat that B is jump. Thank you for that stupid control scheme.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Square.
So.
Come on.
Metal Gear, I get it, because that's a really Japanese game, and don't get me wrong, this is too. That came out at the time when controls, if you were playing a Japanese game, you knew circle and X are flipped.
Right.
Like, you knew that at that point.
Yep.
This is the first game I've seen that's done the circle and X are flipped, since then.
Right. Like back and forth in the same game.
But remember, this game's been in the making since then.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, immediately, and I'm not kidding, I immediately felt fed up of all of the crap coming out of everything.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who it was or what video it was, but I watched a video talking about Dead Cells, and if you're not playing Dead Cells but watching Dead Cells, it's just a vomit of explosions of colors at all times.
Yep.
That's how this game feels, because I'm hitting people and little Xbox logos are coming out, and it's like, why is there Xbox logos?
Yep.
What's all this stuff flying out of them? And then they die and they explode in money, which is still so stupid to me.
Yep.
And items come out and everything. It's just like, this literally feels like it was designed for a kid with ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
There's just always something going on at all times to grab your attention.
It's a lot.
There's like 5 things blowing out of that. So there's your gauge filler, health, MP, items,
HP.
Yeah. So that's about 5 things
and money,
blowing out of something. Moonies.
Yeah.
Man.
I don't know. And like I said, I wasn't in the mood to play anything this week, and I just went with the comfort food, Formula 1 2020.
Right.
And I need to get some of these things off my list, which I will be roping in probably Rob, friend of the show, Rob, who is one of the few people I know experienced enough with Astroneer to allow me to jump in, build a mining car, and just take it to the center of every single planet and be done with it, and just abandon that thing at the. Because right now the way I have it built is I have a huge thing which I dig all the way down with, path it down, and then reverse all the way back out with.
Oh, okay.
Which takes time. Right now I'm not in a let's take some time and patience mode. Right now I'm in a let's build a thing, put a giant drill on the front, and then just go. Abandon it at the center of the planet and let's go.
Put a stone on the gas pedal and just get out.
Pretty much, yes. That's exactly what I'm hoping to do. So I'll probably jump back into that, but I'm feeling the need to clear up because I don't feel like I can clear up right now in my real life because it's 2020 and nobody's allowed to go anywhere. So
2 Point Hospital.
2 Point Hospital is on my list too. It's dude. My install games list is ridiculous, and there's a lot of Game Pass games on that, which I know are limited in time. So it's like, I should play these. That's why I'm playing Nier at the moment.
Oh, right.
But I needed a break from Nier. I needed a break from that insanity.
Yeah, you gotta dole that out in small chunks.
Whatever is going on in that thing is fine.
Glory to mankind.
Yes, I can go from that to shiny colors coming out of things to vroom race cars. So it's a nice little trinity I can go here where I don't have to think about Kingdom Hearts. It's the most important thing right now. I have to think about Formula 1. Mm-hmm. I do. Because I have to time my braking, the zones, the turns, the angles. Don't do the usual stick thing of full lock left, full lock right when you've got like a 2-degree corner. You have to kind of think about that, and it's good because it's focusing me a little bit, but sometimes you just want to smash things and watch the world burn. I mean, sometimes you just want to smash things and watch shiny things come out.
That's right.
No, I want to watch the world burn too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no, that's pretty much all I've been playing. Mr. Nimp.
Let's talking about rehashing old games. Star Ocean Last Hope.
Oh, wow.
I have a long...
Hold on. Before we go. Star Ocean series, this is the map drawing one.
No, that's Etrian Odyssey.
Yeah.
What, dude, I don't know. You guys throw out so many names.
They all have BS names. We're just like, throw these 3 things in a hat. There we go. Star Ocean.
Yeah, your general whatever. But anyway, this is the 360 version of the game. Okay, so this came out originally on the 360.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought it then. I sold it then.
Mm-hmm.
I bought it again later because it was like $2. I stopped playing it, and then it was on sale on PS4 like years ago and bought it again.
Oh, right.
I have never beaten this game.
I mean, there's a good reason for that because it's not
and I was
good.
Reminded of it very quickly on probably why I keep dropping it, because the characters are annoying as hell.
It has that young girl the young magician girl who's like really monotone.
Loom. Yep, says K after everything. I
hated this game so much.
So every time I've played this game, I've gotten a little further before I've dropped it. But
it sounds like Musin playing Vampire.
I made it, I think, 3 hours into this game before I dumped it.
The last time I had played this, I made it pretty far into it, and for some reason dropped it, and I don't remember why.
Yeah.
And I don't even know why I picked it up again this week. It was just, I've had it sitting on my hard drive forever.
It's that JRPG collection thing where it's like, yeah, all right.
I guess. But this is also the game that broke me on getting achievements and trophies and everything. Because if you go to the trophy guide to get 100% in this, it's anywhere from 900 to 1,000 hours, depending on your RNG.
It's just like an ASCII middle finger where it's like, don't even do it. It's not worth it. Not worth your sanity.
But so restarted it. I have defeated the second boss, which the boss fights in this game suck. Because at least the major ones, because you're doing 1 point of damage no matter what level you are. Yeah. You have to figure out their weak point for you to do any real damage, and it's just a long fight. Where I went from my main character is mostly just an attacker. You go in there, you hack and slash, you're good to go. This one, I had to actually stop doing that because your AI is so dumb that they keep putting themselves in situations where they're dying and they're not healing properly. So I had to switch from being an attacker to full-on healing and reviving. And I think this last boss fight that I did took about an hour and a half. Yeah. And this is on easy, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I didn't want to deal with the normal, because that's what I always played on, and it always sucks.
Yeah.
So I was like, screw it, I'm going to see if I can just walk through this. And no, I cannot.
God.
But yeah, all the characters are annoying.
Yes.
Edge, who you play as, is a whiny little baby.
And like one of the dumbest people to be in video games. Just like staggeringly stupid.
It starts out where he's mad because he's not a captain. And I'm not talking like teenage angst mad. He's just annoyed that he's not captain and somebody else that he knows ended up becoming captain. Then he becomes a captain. And then it's like 25 minutes of him being, well, I don't think I'm ready for this. I don't know if I can do this. It's like, dude,
they made me captain so early.
Yeah, it's like, step up. You're the one complaining that you didn't have this. Do it.
Yeah.
Raimi, who turns out to be your first officer and is also like a childhood friend or something, whatever. And this goes full on anime tropes too, which is the other kind of annoying thing, like old anime tropes.
Yeah.
She's all right. Like, she's not necessarily annoying. She's just the overprotective friend.
Yeah, like big sister friend sort of trope. Yeah.
So there's no real issue with her. Although I have noticed that the camera angle for her at boss always homes in on her butt.
It's one of them.
Yeah, I didn't remember it ever doing that, but yep.
That's a new feature in the international edition, I guess.
I think so. But yeah, Lemel
times around the world.
That's right.
Lemel, who's the little girl that we were just talking about. Yeah, real monotone voice, says K after everything. Most annoying character so far.
It broke me. And she's always like, and we'll go to the next village, K. It's like, oh my god, shut up, please.
And then there's FaZe, who's an alien character, who's okay. I don't have anything bad to. I mean, he's not great for a party member, but his character isn't bad. So I don't know. I don't know why I felt the need to play this again.
Are you punishing yourself for something? Did you do something wrong this week?
I didn't play any Bloodborne, so I felt like I should be.
There you go. That's your penance.
Yeah, I guess. Either I suck at one game or get hurt by another.
That's right.
So I don't know. I'm on, what is it, the fourth area, which was the Flying Fortress, which I think is where you get your fifth party member, because there's like 8 or 9 characters in this.
Yeah.
Which I've never gotten all of them. So I'll just see how this goes. I'll probably play a lot of it while listening to a podcast because I don't want to listen to it. So that's it. Played a lot of that. Next game after that, Watch Dogs 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in my installed list, waiting to be played.
So you mentioned in Discord that you were interested in starting this, and the piece of advice / warning that I gave you was, there's some culture stuff at the beginning in this game that might turn people off, but the game kind of pushes that aside pretty quickly. Like the game, there's like hacker culture, internet culture that it leans really heavily on at the beginning. So if anyone wants to play this, because a bunch of us just got it for free with the Ubisoft, the Ubisoft Select or whatever they called it. So a bunch of people have it for free. If like the culture and attitude stuff, especially the dude with the mask on, if that stuff is driving you nuts, just kind of like push through that at the beginning of the game.
So the funny thing is, yes, you get like maybe 2 minutes into this thing before they start dropping video game references. And it's stupid annoying.
Yeah.
The mask guy is actually one of the few characters I don't have an issue with.
Okay, good.
Everyone else I kind of hate.
Yeah, like the game really tries to make everyone seem super cool, but at the beginning, no one has really earned it.
Exactly. The antisocial guy is okay.
Yeah, he has a pretty good storyline.
Yeah, I mean, he talks when it's important for him to talk, and he's not annoying. He's not one of those guys of, oh no, I'm like the most, super elitist hacker ever.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah.
Tap, tap, I'm in.
Yeah, which there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the characters will probably start coming around. I'm not, like, the characters aren't going to stop me from playing this game. The game is, if anything, the game's going to stop me from playing this game.
Well, and I think
Watch Dogs 1.
Yeah, and I think the one thing that they do that's really smart is they introduce you to the whole local DedSec crew, and then pretty quickly it's just your main character, and like you'll maybe do a mission for each person every once in a while, but it's kind of just you at that point, and the main character, once he gets out on his own and like you can explore the open world, I feel like that's when he gets really good.
Yeah, because I mean I have a main mission which I've barely touched, but it's mostly just been me wandering around, figuring stuff out, doing random stuff. Or actually, I take that back with the main missions. I got to the point where you had to steal a car.
Oh,
that was
right. Yep.
Basically Kit from Knight Rider, but not.
Yep. That's a really fun mission. Yeah.
Yeah. But most of it's just been me wandering around being like, oh, if I go into basically detective mode, I can see these lines and they all go to different junction boxes. And if I do that, it unlocks a thing or, whatever. So it's been a lot of wandering around doing that. But yeah, the whole hacker culture that they have set up for this is just the dumbest thing. Like, I turn to my JRPGs for the dumbest thing.
Right.
This is the dumbest thing.
Yeah. And it just like, I liked it at some point, like, and I especially love the aesthetic of DedSec, like the cool black and white grayscale stuff. Like, I think a lot of that is cool. There's some great looking graffiti in the game, but really early on, it's just sort of like, ooh, all you guys kind of suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's talk about escalation in this game.
Oh god, is that the PvP like multiplayer stuff?
No.
Okay. Whew, thank God.
I did have somebody pop into my game who immediately popped back out.
Good. Both of you had the best experience.
Exactly. No, I'm talking about enemy escalation in this game. Because with the last mission that I was just talking about where you had to steal a car, you have to go to like several different locations, but the first one that you go to is basically a film industry parking area where they've, think Warner Brothers. All right. So you have to go into like one of those buildings to steal a script. There's regular security guards that are your quote unquote enemies. And I have a stun gun, I have a pistol, and I have an assault rifle. I'm purposely just using the stun gun, just because I always love games that give you stun guns because they're fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah, exactly. So I go through, stun the first couple of guards. Someone happens to see me. I stun them, but not. They end up radio off for backup.
Mm-hmm.
All right, whatever. It's just more people to stun. I don't care.
Right.
Front door opens. There's like 10 security guards, like just regular security guards in this area, like this film set with a full film crew and like all of these people. And these guards start lobbing grenades into the crowd of people. I'm like, all right,
whoops.
3 things here. 1, you're a film set.
Right.
2, you're security guards. And 3, I have escalated this to stunning you, putting you to sleep. I haven't killed anybody yet.
Right.
So
why are you bringing out the grenades, man?
Yeah, so they start lobbing grenades, which I hadn't seen up to this point. So I see the indicators come up, and I'm like, what is that? And I'm like, oh, that must be a grenade. And I roll out of the way, and all of a sudden 10 civilians are dead because they literally threw it into a crowd. I'm like, screw this.
Right.
Switch over to my assault rifle and just mow down all the security guards, because at this point I'm like, if I don't kill these guards, all these people are dead for no reason.
Yeah.
Which really, in the grand scheme of the game, it doesn't matter. That was just a random, really feeling the game at that point, really pulling my role playing there.
Yeah.
So that was a weird escalation point. And then on top of that, when you steal the car, you automatically get like, you're basically a 3-star wanted level, which means I have a helicopter. I've got every cop in San Francisco after me.
Yep.
Because I stole this prop.
Right.
So that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
I also found out that I have the ability to hack sewage pipes.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So I was thinking, like, basically the manhole cover in the middle of the road, I can hack those now. And I was thinking, okay, I can somehow hack this manhole cover, and that'll make this blow, the man cover up into a car or whatever.
Like the first one with the water pipes or whatever. We're just...
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, man, this takes out like a quarter city block. Like,
yeah.
I hacked this thing, and I was pretty far away from it in my own car because I just wanted to see it do what it was going to do. Pretty far away from it, and it still blew me up.
Yeah.
It's like, what is this?
Yeah.
So as I'm doing this chase with this film car prop, you can set them up so that way they have a perimeter, or like a proxy, basically, where if anybody goes through it, it'll set it off.
Oh, right.
So I'm setting like every manhole cover as I'm driving past it, the proxy, and it's blowing up like everything. Blocks behind me, and my rating keeps going up because not only am I taking out cops, I'm taking out civilians too, because this blast is so massive. So that took a while to get away from. I managed to get on the highway, which was a bad idea because there's nothing to hack on the highway, and I didn't have the ability to hack other cars. So then I had to turn around, drive the opposite way on the wrong way to get back. So that way I can get back into the city and hack stuff. Managed to get away from the cops. I pull into like this harbor area, and like out of nowhere, this squad car just plows into me, knocks the car into the water, and I have to redo the mission.
Great.
So water is still an issue with me with this game.
Yeah.
But yeah, did it the second time, stayed off the highway. Everything went fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, the game's pretty fun so far.
Have you unlocked the 3D printer yet?
Yes. That was how I was able to get my my first gun.
That game has a 3D printer.
Well, it's really cool because the 2 of the biggest upgrades they give you really early, and it's the RC car thing and the drone.
Jumper.
Yeah, the jumper and the drone. The drone is so overpowered in this game because the range on it is pretty crazy, and I don't know if you start with it or if it's an early upgrade, but essentially you can use the drone to hack other stuff. So like you're sitting...
you start with that.
Yeah, so you can sit a block away from the place you're trying to hack, and it's like the eagle in Assassin's Creed. Like you're way above it, and you're marking dudes, you're hacking stuff to take people out, you're like hacking radios and blowing up cell phones and stuff. So by the time you roll up on a house or something, everything is cleared out, everything is opened up, and you can just kind of sneak your way right in there, and that feels really great.
One of my favorite things to do, and I've been able to do it about 3 times now, is when I've had to go into an area that's full of people, is I will just run through it. That way I grab everybody's attention and they chase me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I basically run around the block, come back around, shut and lock the door behind them, shut and lock the door that I just came through, do what I need to do, then start blowing stuff up, and then just walk away.
That's great. Watch Dogs 2 is great.
Yeah, so it's pretty fun. The characters are a little full of themselves, which that's the other thing that kind of annoys me. So it's like the very first mission, they are watching your character do. DedSect is watching your character do something.
Yeah,
and they have basically their own online names that they'll every once in a while refer to each other as. But whenever they talk over open communication lines or they're watching someone, they always call each other by their actual names.
Yeah, I'm just like... Gosh.
Dumbest thing ever.
I think a lot of that stuff, not to spoil anything, but I think a lot of that stuff pays off when your group of people just gets their teeth kicked in. Like
Good.
the game does a really great job of being like, oh, we're hot stuff, and the game just takes a boot right to your face, and it's just like, okay,
because they're so cocky that it's annoying, and whatever.
I felt like it paid off later, where it's just like, hell, yeah, all right, we sort of got your comeuppance a little bit.
So, last game that I played this week, it's a biggie. Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I originally was going to skip this game for a while just because I didn't know anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I had an extra gift card, so I figured, screw it. I'll pick it up. It's the only thing coming out for a while anyway. Right. Whatever. And I really like this game.
Musa and I were talking about it yesterday. And he reminded me that Sucker Punch made it. And I was like, oh, that's right. Now I got to play this because I really liked all 3 Infamous games a lot.
That was kind of the other thing that... Because normally for me, I wait for a game to come out, unless it's a JRPG, because generally I know what I'm getting into.
Yeah.
But a lot of times I just wait for a game to come out, check the reviews, see what people are feeling it. But, like you, I like all the Infamous games.
Mm-hmm.
Sucker Punch seems to be a pretty decent company.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, I'll just buy it sight unseen. Whatever.
Yeah, it'll probably be good. Chances are good.
And this game is beautiful.
God, it really is.
Golden Forest, Bamboo Forest, Forest, Grasslands.
Got all the forests.
Yeah, all of it looks awesome. Yeah. Tall grass everywhere. When you're playing the game, you basically have no HUD until you can swipe up on the trackpad on the controller. And then whatever you happen to be tracking, the wind will start to blow in that direction. And then like a little thing will pop up on the top left that says, hey, this is what you're tracking. This is how far away it is.
Okay.
After a while, that goes away. So it's just your character and everything else in the world. That's it. There's no HUD.
Oh, wow.
Until you start fighting. Then on the very bottom right corner, you get, your HP and your resolve. And that's it.
Wow.
All the rest of it is just something shiny happens. You happen to see something shiny or an enemy is about to do something. And so you have those visual cues to know what to kind of expect. But it's like a pretty naked HUD. And it's pretty awesome for this game.
Nice.
They take a lot of visual cues from old samurai movies. Where the very first boss that you go up against, you're on a bridge. And it's like a wide pull-out shot of you being on the left side of the bridge, the boss being on the right side of the bridge.
Right.
They're just staring at each other.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
And there's like lightning going off in the background. There's wind and rain. I mean, it's awesome. The other fights that you've gotten into, I've only been into like 2 other boss fights. One was kind of a coward, so that fight never happened. So that story was kind of cool.
Okay.
The other one, they basically do kind of like a showdown where someone has challenged you in this quest.
Jim Sterling's been playing this, and he was talking about the showdown, and he's like, it's great because it's like a fantastic mechanic for if you're trying to play stealthily. You can just be like, no, I wasn't trying to be stealthily. I was just giving you a chance to have an honorable fight.
Yeah, I didn't fail stealth. I just want to be honorable.
Well, that's the standoffs. Which I'll get into that too. But with this, it's basically you have an enemy character that actually has a long health bar. And what'll happen, and they don't pop up a whole lot, but you'll get like this red health bar that just stretches across the top of the screen, and that's the boss's health bar. And then it kind of takes on like this cool little fighting visual cue, like a fighting game visual cue, where all of a sudden you're looking at the enemy, and then you're looking at yourself, and then it kind of puts you both left and right of each other, and then it's game on. And you can still move around and stuff. It's not like locking you into a 2D, field or anything. But it's just cool how they go about all the camera angles and stuff for this.
Yeah.
And it's such a beautiful game. They've got a photo mode. I haven't used it yet, but there's been a couple times where there's something that's happened, and I'm like, I want to take a photo of that.
My Twitter feed has been all full of Tsushima stuff where it's just like, man, this stuff looks so good.
That's kind of why I haven't done it, because I figured everyone else and their mom that's playing this game is probably doing that as well.
Yeah.
So, foxes in this game are awesome.
Yep.
Coming into this, I didn't know anything about this game, so I saw a fox and just decided to follow it, and it led me to an Inari shrine, which once you've prayed to enough of the shrines, you unlock extra charm slots, which are basically buffs for your character that you can throw in there.
Oh, okay.
Eventually, the way you're supposed to do it is you're supposed to find a fox den, then the fox is supposed to lead you to an Inari shrine, and then that happens. But sometimes you can just find a fox out in the wild and then just follow them too without finding their den. The best part about that is sometimes after you've prayed at the Inari shrine, the fox will still be there. And you can pet the fox.
Hell yeah.
And the fox is super happy that you're petting it.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
There are a lot of animals that you can follow. I just started figuring out that there's these golden birds in the world that will lead you. I don't know if they just lead you to any points of interest in the game. So far, it led me to one place where you can compose a haiku, and then you get a piece of equipment.
Okay.
Another time, it's led me to a hot spring, which you go in there and reflect on, random stuff that's happened, and it increases your maximum health.
Ooh.
And I had another time where it led me to this kind of small waterfall, but I haven't been able to figure out why it keeps leading me there, because there's, as far as I can tell, nothing there. So,
interesting.
Yeah. But with the creating haikus, you basically sit down at a certain location, and your character just kind of looks out at the vast expansion, and there's points of interest that you can click on. And each point of interest, there's like a short, like 3-4 words that you can choose any of those, and then the scene will change a little bit. It'll still be within the same area, but a scene will change and focus on something else. And there'll be another list that you can choose from. You're basically looking at this scenery with the camera, and there's different points that you can select. A couple more words to add, and then you'll have another scene change, and then same thing. And then your character basically creates a haiku based off of whatever you've chosen, and that'll get you a piece of armor, which so far have just been bandanas. But then the bandana that it creates for you, the haiku that you created is associated with that. So if you wanted to remember what you did for like the Golden Forest haiku, you can go check out your Golden Forest bandana that you got, and your haiku is right there.
Right.
So that's pretty cool. Some of the armor matters for your character, and some of it doesn't. It's mostly cosmetic. Like the bandanas, they don't give you a buff or anything like that. They just look cool. The different types of actual armor that your character can wear, like right now I have him wearing a clan samurai armor set. those you can upgrade. With the clan armor that I have it upgraded to the point where I take like 15% less damage, and it increases my maximum health by like a certain percentage.
Mm-hmm.
I also have a Ronin, which is a straw hat swordsman Ronin looking costume, which increases the melee attack that I have, and it does something else. I don't remember what. But then I also have a Traveler one that if I keep upgrading that, it increases the amount of Fog of War that I clear on this island, and it makes my controller vibrate whenever I get close to artifacts or relics or anything like that.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah, so you've got... Oh, yeah. So there's all kinds of different armor types so far that you can get, and they all do different things. The horse that you get at the very start of the game, you get 3 choices between basically black, white, and gray, and then 3 different names, and that horse will stay with you for the entire game, and it keeps the name that you gave it.
Nice.
I named mine Nobo, just because it seemed cool.
Right.
And I picked the gray horse. And the thing about the horse is it does the thing that I've always liked since Witcher 3, which is if I'm running and I whistle for my horse, the horse will run up next to me, and I can just jump onto it while I'm still running, and then make the horse run.
Yep.
And it's awesome. The weird thing is, controller-wise for this, is that normally to make a horse run, you usually have to hit X. Or, cross, whatever you want to call it. With this... Smart, dude. Yeah. With this, you just have to click the left thumbstick down, and the horse will run, which I haven't played a whole lot of games that... I mean, I've played a lot, but I've never played a game that has a horse in it where you click down the thumbstick to make your character sprint and your horse sprint.
Oh, right.
So every once in a while, I keep forgetting, and I tap X to make my horse run faster, and my guy just jumps off the horse. But this isn't like Red Dead, where if you jump off your horse, you're taking like 80% damage.
No idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's a samurai, so he jumps off the horse, and he lands on his feet, and the dude is like sword in hand, ready to go. Which is awesome, because I've ran into a battle with my horse and jumped off of it like that and completely took apart a guy in one swing in midair.
Nice.
So that was pretty awesome. You can do horse battles where you don't even have to dismount. Your guy will just stay on top of his horse and attack people, and you can run into people with your horse. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
The standoffs. You can go if you go into an area that has enemies in it, before they fully see that you're there, you can challenge them to a standoff where you just hit up on the D-pad and your character will yell out, send me your strongest warrior or whatever. And then it turns into this awesome looking, again, fight scene where your guy's on the left, this guy's on the right, and the camera's just behind your character slightly, maybe a little bit more out. And all you do is you hold down the triangle button and you wait for the guy to attack you, and you release the triangle button, and he basically one-shots that person.
Oh, wow.
And
interesting.
It's pretty awesome. They just started, at the point I'm at now, they just started adding in where the enemies will do feints. So they will look like they're going to attack you, but they're really not. And if you don't pay attention and give in to that, you're going to take a lot of damage.
Interesting.
Because you're pretty much leaving yourself wide open to be attacked. Which sucks. I had that happen once. So,
right.
But yeah, the standoffs are pretty cool. You can unlock more abilities to do more than one standoff, or you're basically chaining standoffs where you kill a guy and then kill another guy.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a max of 2 or maybe 3. I haven't really looked at it that much, but there's just a lot going on with this game, and it's really awesome.
Yeah.
The way your character levels up is you just complete missions, and you don't earn experience so much as you're gaining well, I don't even know if it's really influence, but basically you're letting yourself be known, because you're pretty much the last samurai on this island.
Oh, like you're helping people so you get like renown or whatever?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. And at certain points, you get technical points, which you can put into your abilities. Mm-hmm. So the more missions you do, your renown gets better. You start unlocking more things. I'm not very far into it, so I haven't unlocked a whole lot, but there's a ton to unlock. Like, stances, your ghost abilities, which is basically more along the lines of like ninja stuff. Being able to like fall, heal faster, or fall higher, taking less damage or no damage, heal faster, being able to revive yourself. There's a whole wide spread of stuff that you can put points into. And that's on top of upgrading your weapons, your bow, your ghost equipment, your armor. So there's a lot of things that you can do with this game to customize your character however you want to play it.
That's cool.
And a lot of I've been seeing a lot of people, especially with the ghost stuff, comparing it to like Assassin's Creed. See a lot of people comparing it to Souls games because everything's a Souls game now, apparently.
Right. If you have like one-on-one combat, apparently it's a Souls game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree that it could have some of those elements. It definitely doesn't have any Souls elements in it. Unless you're playing this on like the hardest difficulty, then yeah, probably, because the game's probably hard.
Yeah.
But some of the Assassin's Creed stuff I can see, because I did accidentally jump off of a cliff and assassinate a fool.
Great.
So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But you can play this game however you want. It's an open world game. You can either do full-on samurai and not touch any of the ghost stuff, or you can do all the ghost stuff, not touch samurai. You can do what I'm doing and do a little bit of a mix of both. So far, there's only been one mission where I've had to stealth.
Okay.
And even then, it wasn't difficult. It was mostly it felt more like a suggestion where I went into an area and it said kill like 3 people without being noticed. Okay, but it seemed like if I didn't do that, it would have been fine.
Oh, okay.
So, but it's not that hard to do. I mean, you have a bow.
Right. Like,
and even if you don't, I mean, there's a lot of tall grass and stuff. There's a lot of ways for you to get into an area and check things out, which I really like. So there's a lot of ways for you to tackle most of the areas that you can get into. The other major thing is the island that you start on is pretty big, and I was screwing around with the map and realized that I can zoom all the way out, and there's an even bigger island to the north of the island I'm on. Oh man, this game is going to go places.
Yeah.
The only bad thing that I have for this game, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, is I was talking with a couple of people about the voice acting. The voice acting in English and Japanese both seem fine. You can switch back and forth whenever you want. You can switch the subtitles to English, Japanese, whatever all they have, that's fine. We were all noticing the lip syncing. And when you're playing with the Japanese VO on, you do notice that the lips don't sync very well with what's being said.
Okay.
However, I've also noticed that with the English VO on, they sync better, but they're still off.
Okay.
So just don't pay attention to the lips.
It's like the first Life is Strange, where it's like, these don't sync, and that's fine.
And that's kind of the thing, too, is it's kind of funny because anime in general has always had this issue when it first started out, and it's a lot better now.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is the opposite, where it's an English company right there in the U.S., Sucker Punch?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. It's an American company having the issue where they can't get the Japanese to sync.
Right.
Yeah, so it's basically just flipped.
Right.
But I am playing with English because I did start out with Japanese, but the problem is that there is a lot going on at one time. Again, anime trope, where you're trying to read and there's a ton of things happening, but the difference between watching anime and this happening and playing a game is that I'm trying to do things and not die while trying to read what's happening. So maybe once I get a better grasp on the game, everything, I might switch it, or maybe on another playthrough I'll switch it over. But right now I am playing in English. English sounds fine, sounds great. The Japanese, for what little bit I played it of, sounded fine, sounded great. So it's a really awesome game. I really like it. And I didn't know that I wanted to play this game until I started playing it.
There you go.
So, yeah. that's all I've been playing this week. What about you, Boston?
Super short for me. Joy-Con report. The Joy-Con that I just got back has drift. I noticed it starting to happen because usually when I'm laying in bed and I'm winding down at the end of the day, I am playing Binding of Isaac. Usually I can get like a run or two in, depending on how fast a run is. And I've been playing Isaac for 6 years at this point. 5 years? I don't even know. So it very much is a comfort food game. I noticed that I was dying, which doesn't really happen anymore.
Show off.
And it's because when I'm pushing the stick to the right, it's pulling back towards center. So like I'm trying to dodge to the right, and it's just like, no, man, you're not going anywhere. So to say that I'm really frustrated by this is largely underselling it, because I don't know what the hell I'm going to do now. Because like I literally just did the thing you're supposed to do, and they got me brand new Joy-Cons, and they are immediately broken. I've been playing with them for like 2 or 3 days, and they are broken. So
don't hold my breath.
Yeah, like apparently getting the fixed ones is not the solution. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. Yeah, so that'll be this week, is figuring out what I'm gonna do. Destiny 2 did 2 large milestones this week. I'm working on the Moments of Triumph stuff, which is like a celebration of the last year of Destiny. I finally did the Leviathan raid, which was really good. And now, because the content is old and soon to be retired, it's really easy. It was kind of nice, kind of blowing through a raid that I had never done before, but only took us kind of a couple of tries on each encounter to get through, and then we one-shot at the boss, like the very final boss. It was super easy. That was a blast. Bill Sever, the Hannah, and I did the new dungeon this week, the one that launched with this season. If anyone hasn't seen it, it's like the vaporwave dungeon. It's a lot of like pinks and kind of cool neon lights and stuff like that. Like it's a really cool dungeon. Spoilers for its mechanic coming up. It's a really neat thing, because the whole thing about the dungeon is killing certain enemies, whether you're in the dark or in the light, drops different things, and you need a certain amount of those things to kind of keep going on in the dungeon. So juggling that stuff while you're fighting like 3 bosses at once and doing this puzzle where the room keeps turning, the hexahedron, you solve the puzzle on one plane, one side of this room. You go in the middle and the room turns, so you have to solve the puzzle on all 6 sides of the room. Some really, really cool stuff. I'm glad we finally leveled up to the point where we could actually do the dungeon at this point. And Moments of Triumph so far is good. I like Moments of Triumph every year, because it's kind of cool to see how much I have done this year, and then this year they've because these old raids are going away, since a significant amount of the game is going away. It was going to be in September, now November. They want you to have go through all the raids again, and when you complete them once, it basically just kind of gives you everything in the raid. So it's really,
as it should have been.
Well, and it's annoying stuff where it's like the hardest raid in the game, Spire of Stars, gives you this really fun emote, but it was always a random chance from the boss. And now, when you beat it and you redeem the Triumph, it gives you all the shaders for that raid, and it just gives you the emote. So it's like, if you haven't done it, or you just RNG just hasn't been on your side for it, you can just go finally get it. So that's why I did Leviathan. That's the first of 6 raids I need to go do. The next 2 are going to be really short, and then the other 3 years going to be pretty long. But still enjoying Destiny 2. And lastly, I wanted a comfort food game this week. I'm kind of done with 2 Point Hospital, and I was hoping for something to fill that slot of like, I'm paying attention to it, but I can talk to my kid and the game isn't going to blow up because I wasn't paying attention to it for 2 minutes. So I popped in. Yeah. So I popped in. I fired back up Stellaris. And
I was going to joke about that too.
Yeah, and I was like,
SimCity 2020.
Yeah. I was like, all right, I know Stellaris. Like, I know how to play this game. I'll start a brand new universe. I will set it to like the easiest setting and like make all the growth really fast and the research really fast. And I'll just kind of like blow through a playthrough of this and just kind of have fun. Have a couple of other species in the same universe as I am, but kind of all make them nice. Like, I don't really want one person just sweeping through and destroying everything. And that worked really well until I looked at Earth and wanted to start building it up, and everything is different now. That patch finally hit consoles. And boy, management of like your planetary sectors, trade routes, populating planets, all that stuff is 100% different. I think they made the right choice to completely revamp all that stuff because all of it removes so much of the micromanaging stuff, where it's like before you'd have to. Each planet would like have 16 tiles, and you'd really have to manage kind of puzzling out where to put stuff to kind of complement with each other and make sure there's enough housing and stuff. All that stuff is largely gone. You have like a number of tiles you can apply on a planet, and you just pick between the 4 different, it's like housing, industrial, commercial, and food, and you just kind of pick enough of those to add up to the total number for your planet. And then you just build those, and the planet largely kind of takes care of itself. So I think with as much as management as there is, sort of micro and macro, as there is in that game, taking that level of management out, I think was largely a good choice. Because a lot of that just seemed like busy work before. And as I colonize more and more and more planets, I'm really happy that I don't have to go in and just start like managing all these tiles and stuff. So it feels a lot better now. I'm to the point where I've gone through. I've had it on the fastest setting, so I think I've gone through like 200 years or so. And I just surpassed the strongest species in the universe, and I have now taken the first spot in points. So whenever it hits, like, I'm at like 23, the year like 2,300 something. Once I hit 2,500, I should be in a good spot to win the game. So
you're gonna wreck everybody, or
no? Trying to make a federation, trying to have everybody, have open trade routes, open commerce deals, share research. This isn't my squash them like bugs playthrough. It's very much like, it's like share knowledge. Let's open our borders and let's be friends and have a federation and stuff like that. Like, let's all get along.
Sounds like a trap.
Probably not. One species wants. I posted on Twitter. Probably like every couple of months they'll send me a message that's just like basically a middle finger. They just hate they hate the human race. They essentially just want to eat us. And I recently looked at, you have like a contact sheet of all the races you've run into and like your standing with them, whether or not they're part of your federation, and then like relative power level to you. Like the race that I just usurped for the first spot, like their power is overwhelming. Because their technology is still much better than mine is. But this race that keeps insulting me, their power rating just says pathetic. It's just like the game just very much says you can squash them if you wanted to. It's like economically, technologically, my military might, all of that is just by far stronger than they are. And like if I at any point I could just kind of sweep one of my fleets through their planets and just destroy them. And I thought I just like that it just said like pathetic. I was like, yeah, man, all right, I like that. So yeah, Stellaris is great. There's looking at the main page of that game. There's like 2 or 3 more pieces of DLC on console that have come from. Usually, the console version is a significant.
A little bit behind.
It's pretty significant. Before it was like PC was on like version 2.5, console was on like 1.3. So it's always like pretty significantly behind. But there are difficulties in taking this giant 4X, universe simulator management game, putting that on these tiny little consoles. So obviously there's going to be some thing, but yeah, there are like 2 or 3 really big, like $20 expansions for this game. It's like, I don't know if I'm ready to like keep going down that rabbit hole right now. Let's try and get through like one regular. I'm like building a Dyson sphere right now, so like I've got enough on my plate as it is. I got to build a ring world next, and try and get through some of that stuff. But Stellaris is still really good, and I don't remember if it's on Game Pass still or not. It was for a while. I know it is on PC, and if it is on Xbox One, go give it a shot. The tutorial is really good. I genuinely didn't know if I would like this game or not, and it's my first 4X game, but it's really, really, really great. And you can pause it, which is great, and that's pretty much all I need out of a game right now. Is just, can I pause this game and have it not do anything while I have to go deal with a kid having a meltdown. So 2 thumbs up for pausing. And that's all I played this week. So let's take a break.
Yep.
What's our time? 2 hours. That's about right.
Yep. I'm in the bathroom.
All right.
Okay.
I'll try and bang out the rest of the show ASAP because it's 4 o'clock. All right.
Yeah, because I want to play more game.
That's right. Gotta get your ghost on.
Dude.
I was so upset that I forgot it was Sucker Punch, because like I've been kind of watching the game out of the corner of my eye, where I'm like, I sort of don't care. Like they showed so little of the game for so many years, and I'm like, I kind of don't care about this. Like they're not showing any content. I whatever. And Musin was like, oh yeah, it's Sucker Punch's new game. It's like, damn it. Now I gotta go play it.
I think the fact that they showed so little of it is actually really a good thing, because it gives you that moment where it drops you into the world and you're like, this is all mine to look at.
Mm-hmm. It's like, what's this fox doing? I'll follow that fox. Oh, okay, so these foxes do things. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they do... I don't know if they copied this off of Breath of the Wild or not, but how Breath of the Wild did the whole, points of interest, where it's not a marker on the map that you're going to. It's you see something happening, so let's go check it out.
Yeah, you're like on a cliff and there's like a fire over there, and you're like, well, there has to be something. There's a bonfire over there. There has to be something.
There's a lot of things on fire in this game.
Yeah, well, samurai times are rough.
Yeah, but it's a really cool game. I really love it so far.
Yeah.
And I just want to explore more of it.
I feel like this is one of those games that I kind of want to wait to see what Sony's going to do for like their smart delivery option, because it seems like this is a title they would push for smart delivery for PS5, where it's like, this comes out, PS5, 4K, 60 frames, ray tracing, and like I feel like if they're going to do that for PS5, that might be the best time for me to hop in to the game and say like, all right, well, I've got this powerful new hardware. Let's have an open world game. Let's have something like really sink my teeth into. Yeah. So I might wait for that.
The particle effects in this are like, I'm playing on the PS4 Pro right now, And whenever you use your guiding wind, especially when you do it in the golden forest, because there's like golden leaves just all over the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And when you use your guiding wind, it blows up like all the loose leaves and stuff towards the direction of where your objective is that you chose to track. So you've got like all this cool stuff flowing through the wind. And if you're in the middle of the grasslands, you see all the grass swaying in the direction of the wind. And I mean, it's just a really technically awesome game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just do it, Boston. Just do it.
Yeah. Someday. I'll save it for PS5. That and Control's DLC, because that Control with ray tracing on consoles I know is going to look great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, you guys ready to knock out the rest of this?
Yep.
Sure.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk releases for the week of July 20th, 2020. Carrion comes out, PC, Switch, Xbox One. That comes out Game Pass, day and date. Does it come out PC and Xbox One, Game Pass, day and date? I know it's at least Xbox.
Very good question. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Either someone in the background says yes, it's coming out on PC. So I've been watching this game pretty closely for a while because I think this looks super cool. If anyone doesn't remember this one, this is the reverse horror game where you play as the amorphous blob monster and you're eating scientists, and it looks really cool. I'm hoping this turns out to be really great. And the last game coming out this week got delayed on everything else after the trailer got leaked, but Crysis Remastered is still coming out on Switch. So,
of course, it got delayed on everything else.
Yeah, I've never really enjoyed the first Crysis, so I'm not entirely sure I'm the best person to recommend. Crysis 2 was really great, and Crysis 1 just kind of never really clicked with me.
Okay, so I'm trying to use Twitter to check on Xbox Game Pass for PC to see if the Carrion game is available on there. Number one, they tweet a lot.
They really do, yeah.
A lot. One of the recommended follows was Xbox Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
And their description for their account was the mitochondria of the download queue.
Wow.
Which might be one of my favorite stupid things to ever put on social media.
Oh, Game Pass.
And yes, Carrion is coming to Game Pass for PC.
Great. 2 thumbs up. 2 phalanges right in the air. All right, let's move on to news stories, which is largely next-gen, or completely next-gen focused this week. First off, Microsoft is discontinuing the Xbox One S all-digital, which makes sense, and the Xbox One X. So, to clarify, they're not pulling it off the shelves. They're just not making them anymore, and they're going to continue to make the Xbox One S, the one with the disk drive in it. They said, quote, as we ramp into the future with Xbox Series X, we're taking the natural step of stopping production on the X and S all-digital edition. Xbox One S will continue to be manufactured and sold globally, end quote. This was originally confusing for me, but I once I thought through it, it made a lot more sense. Obviously, the S all digital, getting rid of that is fine. That's not going to be the leading SKU ever. So not making that anymore, it makes sense. I didn't think stopping production of the X made a lot of sense until I looked at the calendar and realized we're almost at the end of July, and in like 3 months, the Series X will be coming out, and thinking, yeah, people probably aren't going to be buying a whole bunch of Xbox One X's right now if the brand new one is going to be coming out. So I guess that makes sense.
And it helps to get rid of the confusion of parents trying to buy consoles and getting the wrong X console.
Yeah, and Microsoft is going to fairly soon, at the very least when the Series X launches, have a blowout sale on the Xbox One X, get through the rest of that, inventory and just kind of be done with it. So that makes sense, and it's nice to see one of these manufacturers actually come out and say, like, yes, this is a thing we're doing. Don't worry, you can still buy them, but yeah, we're not making them anymore. Instead of like, we don't comment on rumors. It's like, nah, man, yeah, we're just not making them. You know, the Series S is coming out soon. Go buy one of those. Microsoft also put out a press release for what they called the future of gaming. A lot of it in there is focused on parental controls and inclusivity and smart delivery. The sort of the stuff we've been talking about for 2020. You know, a lot of the positive stuff that they've already been talking about. Load times of the SSD, you know, stuff like that. They did announce 3 new things in there. xCloud will be added to Game Pass Ultimate in September for no additional cost, which... Again, stop making a good deal better, Microsoft. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, if you don't have Game Pass Ultimate, I don't know what you're doing, because it just, xCloud works so well.
I haven't tried xCloud as of yet, but I've seen some talk that the reason they're doing this is because they're going to discontinue Gold, have multiplayer go free on the Xbox. And then switch over the free games with Gold to Game Pass Ultimate.
That would probably make a lot of sense, just to say, like, we don't have these 2 plans anymore. It's just like, look, you can play multiplayer with anyone, whatever, you know, open gaming borders. They can market it however they want. But if you want the additional stuff, like 5 million free on Game Pass, and you can play them on your phone, you know, Microsoft's pairing up with what company? Bitendo, I think it is. You saw their brand new Xbox controller with the clip on front of it, like the official Microsoft controller for iOS and Android, which looks pretty cool, and I will probably definitely buy those because I'm in the xCloud beta. I don't want to break NDA, but it works. It works pretty well. That's another one of those things where it's like, great. You could have charged more for this per month. Like, you could have said, like, here's another $5 a month, and you get Game Pass Ultimate, and all those games are available on your console, your PC, and xCloud. But they just rolled it into the same thing, which is great. They made another announcement about backwards compatibility. They said, quote, "It's our intent for all Xbox One games that do not require Kinect to play on Xbox Series X at the launch of the console," end quote. So that's pretty ambitious. You know, Sony has announced that they're doing a similar thing with maybe sort of squishier wording than this. But it's nice to see them say, like, yeah, man, we're working our hardest. As long as it didn't need Kinect, it should just kind of work out of the box on the console day one. I think this is probably... they haven't come out right and said it, but this is probably the end of the Kinect, unsurprisingly. But, you know, this is probably the point where it's like, yeah, we tried, but, you know, it didn't happen. And the last point was the next few years of Xbox Game Studios titles, that's their words, not mine, will be available for current gen and next gen. The point they were trying to emphasize was, we don't want to force you to upgrade. If you're happy with your Xbox One X, you should be able to play Forza Horizon 5 and Halo Infinite and all these other games when we're not going to punish you because you don't have a Series X. Obviously, it's going to run better and look better and load faster, all the marketing stuff over on the new console. But if you're happy with Xbox One X, go nuts. You can play all that stuff there too. And all that stuff is available for Game Pass too. So, like, you don't even have to pay anything for that. So, I'm continually impressed at how Microsoft and the Xbox team are just making the right consumer-friendly choices at every turn. They keep announcing this stuff, and it's like, great, that would be my dream. And they're like, yeah, man, we're doing it. It's like, okay. It just, like, in black and white, just saying, yes, we are doing this thing. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Again, Microsoft seems to continue to do exactly what is best for the customer.
Mm-hmm. And it's
good for them, but it's especially good for us.
Well, I mean, it's probably good for them at the end of the day, and it's definitely what was that? I retweeted a couple weeks ago about that something we had played that was on Game Pass. Oh, it was Descenders. Where the developer tweeted out there, they're like, "Hey, we put our game on Game Pass just because we want more people play it, and we're getting paid like crazy. Like it is the number of people that they have had turn over from playing it on Game Pass to just outright purchasing it, and the revenue that's coming through that for something on Descenders, which is kind of like a smaller indie game, has been crazy. And nevertheless, all the other titles. So seems like kind of everybody wins. So good for them. And the big rumor coming out of Sony this week is that Sony is reportedly doubling production of the PS5 for launch. Coming from Bloomberg, this decision comes after seeing the prolonged effects of the global COVID-19 pandemic boosting the demand for gaming. I think we've been seeing that early days, a lot of demand for Switch.
I was going to say, look at the Switch and the Animal Crossing release and look at how big.
And Ring Fit. Ring Fit has been doing really well. But surprisingly, PS4 Pro and Xbox One X have both been doing really well, because a lot of people are saying, like, look, if I'm going to be stuck inside, I'm going to buy this cool console that's available, and I'm just going to play a bunch of games, because maybe they haven't had the time to do it, or they had other hobbies that have been taking over, and it's like, well, I guess I'll play games again. I haven't played games for a while, especially on the Xbox One side of the house. Game Pass is a really strong selling point, where it's like you spend a couple $100 here, you spend $15 a month, you get access to 50 bajillion games for free at that point. And all three consoles have been doing really well because of that. And I think it's an interesting thing for Sony to potentially be doubling the production of their brand new console, which historically hasn't been a thing for console manufacturers. It's like, we're going to make as many as we can and try and send as many as we can out every week. And if you can't get them, you can't get them, but like, we're working as fast as possible. Yeah. So the market must be really strong for them to produce this many this early, without even having a price or a release date or anything. So
even if it's not an immediate sellout, like, they can ramp up production now and slow it down as whatever happens.
Right.
And then that will give them overstock to go into next year as well, because signs are flagging that this might not be over by next year. So,
well, and a lot of people are also saying that the shipping industry has slowed down significantly. So if you want to get this in as many stores as you can, and Amazon throughout the world, to have enough where it's like, we can't ship something for the next couple of weeks, but we already shipped a whole ton, then you make a whole bunch now, and PS5s are going to sell. It's not like they made 5 million. It's like, oh, we sold 10 of them. Whoops. Yeah. It's like, you'll go through that stock at some point. So really, really interesting. Sony also came out and put out a press release, because people had started bothering them, saying, like, you're just not going to put up pre-orders. And they're like, no, like, we're going to announce when pre-orders are going to go up. Like, calm down. Everything's fine. Like, this is in the PS3 again. Like, you just relax. This isn't the Saturn. Just chill out. But that's all. Well, go ahead.
Isn't it the Saturn? Are you sure?
I mean, hopefully not. That would be, no one wants that. Let's move to questions for this week. Poke Chop Salad wrote and said, do you think there will ever be an instance where you do get TVGP after dark, like a show with more colorful language, topics, etc.? I have great news for you over at patreon.com/E1M1. The ones are numbers. That's our Outcast every week. It's usually like half an hour to 45 minutes, kind of on average, where we just kind of shoot the poops, except the poops is the S word. It's uncensored, and we just kind of, it's usually like us catching up on what's been going on this past week. And lately we've been talking about Arrowverse shows and F1 kind of regularly amongst all of our other stuff. And then like the break in between segments goes in there too. But it's largely like us kind of hanging out as friends and talking about whatever before we start going live. And it's good every week. Like I can say that it's at the very least we're having fun, even if maybe we're a little bit punchy or not in the mood to record anything. But yeah, that Outcast comes out every week on Patreon. That's Patreon exclusive. So go sign up there for $5 a month, and that gets you everything, including Critical Misses, which is we just started recording season 2, and we're having a blast. That show is a lot more work to do than I think either one of us were expecting, but it's a lot of fun. So go listen to that too. But that's our last question. That's our episode for this week. TVGP.tv is where you can find us. Right hand side has everyone to find and follow us. We just talked about Patreon. Go to the merch store. There's a link on the right hand side of the page. Nimp is wearing the 90s mascot We Know shirt this week, repping the brand. We just started a brand new game club game. We're going to play The Return of Obra Dinn, which we chose because I'm tired of the randomizer choosing, because of Hell Year. Less surprises is what we're focusing on. And we just started a brand new game over on We Rogue Like It, so the patrons will get that this Wednesday. And I think that's it. So we'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, Nimp, hit me with your titles.
I only have like 4.
Yeah, I only have 3.
Yeah. But I Am a Warrior.
I have that one too, is just I Am a Warrior.
Lord of Mankind.
Glory to Mankind.
Or was that what
Yeah, Glory to Mankind.
Power Level Pathetic. And 2 thumbs up for pausing. Which is kind of long, but...
Power Level, Pathetic. All right, Moon?
Give me that goodness. Go, go, go. Since then, exclamation mark. 2 phalanges in the air.
Jimbo Jangle says a show title, I Noticed I Was Dying. I wrote that one down. I Am a Warrior. Purple means good. I'm not going to hit Y. I Noticed I Was Dying. And Power Level Pathetic. They're all good.
Yeah, Power Level Pathetic's pretty solid.
So I like that one.
I also like Purple Means Good, but I think Power Level Pathetic might be stronger.
Purple Means Good, I think, is funny just because it's out of the blue, and no one's gonna know what that's talking about.
True.
I think I feel more strongly about Power Level Pathetic.
Is it Power Level Pathetic?
Yeah.
It's whatever you want it to be, Moon.
What does your grammatic heart say?
The reason why I asked is because that's what my grammatic heart says.
Yeah, me too. I'm okay with that one. Okay. Circling.
I'm ready. It's terrible, but I'm ready.
I like it.
Yeah. If I just sit here, I'm going to zone out. So.
Okay, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 665 for July 20th, 2020. Power Level Pathetic.
It's under 9,000.
I'm not even going to do anything after that.
I feel like we can't top that. So like, oh man. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you, Jimbo Jangles, for hanging out with us. And we'll see you next week. Bye.